My name's Jeremy.
My name's Kate.
My name's Max.
My name's Rory.
My name's Jacinta.
My name's Amal.
Hi, I'm Harry.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Peyton. I'm 27.
I'm 20 years old.
I'm 24.
I'm 20.
I'm 21.
I'm 22.
I'm 21.
I'm 21.
I'm 20 years old and I'm insecure about how skinny I am.
And I've had an eating disorder.
I think about my weight way too often.
And I have suffered from body image issues.
And I think about my hair.
And I'm insecure about my body.
I've suffered from unrelenting standards due to social media.
And people make fun of my hair.
And I constantly compare myself to others at the gym.
Ready to go?
Gym culture has changed throughout time. What was once primarily focused on strength and physical fitness has changed to a hyperfixation on personal flaws in appearance. In this mini documentary, I've interviewed health specialists, psychologists, teenagers, children, bodybuilders and parents to showcase different perspectives of the fitness industry. The younger generation needs to be aware of the toxicity that social media is promoting. Things such as unattainable body standards, social media pressure, body dysmorphia, and illegal supplement use are commonplace in the gym. I have seen it, and I'm sure you know of it, but just how bad is it getting? How is it affecting your friends, your children, your teammate, your surrounding people in the gym? Join us to find out more information about body dysmorphia and the negative side of the fitness industry. Further set the scene, I interviewed children of a range of different ages, different backgrounds and different experiences about how they felt about the gym. The conversations were lighthearted and fun, but on a deeper level they showed children are already facing pressure from social media to look a certain way, feel a certain way, and even be involved in the gym at a young age. These can be dangerous to children, and education should be at the forefront of our minds.
Ori, big strong people on social media.
Poppy, weights and push-ups.
The people get strong and that makes me want to go. But my dad needs to go because he needs to lose some weight.
Before we dive into the dark side of the fitness industry, I'll introduce you to Bradley Brown, professional bodybuilder and the main inspiration behind this documentary.
Well, obviously, my name's Bradley Brown and I've been training now for 16, 17 years, pretty much more than half my life. I'm 31. I started, back in high school, really. I guess people do, just treat you differently by how you look, Yeah, and sure. From being a small kid, you do develop that body dysmorphia, even no matter, I think you could ask anybody that's trained for years and years, man, they have a pretty bad perception of themselves, I think there's this thing, after about 3 months, they say that's probably the biggest you'll ever feel again, because after you've been training for about 3 months, all of a sudden you just start to feel small. Yeah. You start looking at everybody else, comparing yourself to them.
Do you find yourself still doing that, even being
for sure, man. I walk around with my wife, mate, through the shop sometimes, and to see someone that's got a little bit of muscle, like, oh, man, do you reckon that guy's bigger than me? Nah, what do you reckon? And the last comp I did was in 2022. I competed in ICN, which is the unenhanced federation, as they'd like to call it. And I placed pretty well, as you can see. I got first in the open, not too bad. Didn't do too bad.
Get up. You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You don't want to study? You fucking study. That's how you start to callous your mind.
I didn't see you there. Social media is a powerful force in all of our lives, and it is here to stay. Educating future generations is vital to protecting mental and physical health. But what about now? Should social media companies stop showing harmful content to young adults? Should parents take away social media from their children? Do schools need to provide more education? In the following segment, psychologist Louise Holt discusses the ways in which her practice supports people suffering from body dysmorphia, as well as current trends she is seeing among the younger generation. Also joining us, Brad Brown and Joel Bailey will provide insight into their experiences with social media and how it is negatively affecting the fitness industry.
Louise, 43. I'm actually 42, sorry. I'm the practice manager at Willow Tree Psychology and Wellbeing in Adelaide. So we have a range of clinicians. We have around 30 clinicians, and they all offer different support. I mean, it's all psychology, but they all have their own, I guess, way of providing that service. Most commonly, I think, for body dysmorphia, generally is CBT, but we've got a couple of clinicians that they like to do sort of alternative, sort of dynamic therapy, which is slightly different, but they have different pros and cons.
Easy. So right now I'm in my last year of exercise sports science. I'm doing a bachelor at UniSA. Kind of hit all the major points there that I'm doing the Waves program. I've been overseas in Taiwan and I'm a trainer. I'm kind of like all in that fitness industry. So yeah, I want to take my future in that route. So yeah, this guy, let's call him Jimmy. Jimmy been in the war over in Afghanistan for about 7 years, I believe. So yeah, he obviously before that was in pretty good shape. Then he's left the war and he's came back here. And yeah, I don't know, just often when I'm training with him, he would talk about how he used to be, how fit he used to be, and kind of comparing himself to even me. You might say, oh, look, you could do that easily, but now with how I'm now, I can't do anything. So it's pretty interesting. And you can tell that he really wants to get it and achieve that body type or just, becoming the best version of him. But you can also see that it does cause him some maybe mental stress because he overthinks a little bit too much and, he wants to try achieve this when he's had it before. And I think comparing himself to obviously past and other people, yeah, it does put him down. There's been some like training sessions who come out where he actually just won't be able to train. Like he would just be like, look, I'm not feeling up to it. And that puts him down even more, even if it's not due to, just comparing body images or whatever. He just, gets a bit down. And that also, because he's not training, he feels down that he's not going to reach his, body image or whatever he wants to achieve. So yeah, that's a big kind of story and one main version of body dysmorphia I've seen. So
how do you deal with that? Like working with him? Is it like motivational talks or is it just letting him be in his head and sort of get over it himself?
Yeah, so I think this person, he has the desire to do it. And yeah, all you can really do is just kind of stick with him. And yeah, you really got to motivate him. And like every little step in the right way is just pushing him because, as I said, Jimmy, we'll call him Jimmy, as I said, he has, I don't know, lots of stuff he brings up and talks about. And he's pretty open with me, which is good. That's how I kind of found about this issue. And I would always kind of, get him to use all these, demons, quote unquote, as like energy to, perform and, just go as hard as he can in the gym to really push himself. Because as I said, sometimes you won't feel up to it. But if I say, look, man, what do you think about this has happened in the past? You can use this to push yourself. You want to achieve this. You want to, somebody said this about you, this has happened, you got to use it as fuel and really push yourself, So yeah, I think that's the main thing that I kind of use to push him a bit further, but it is also a lot up to him too, because at the end, it's his mind, it's his body, he chooses what he does, but I can always be there to try and encourage him, motivate him through, obviously the past and yeah, other stuff too. So.
For sure. That's really good. Do you think social media or like social standards, that sort of stuff, like if he's at the gym and he's looking at other people that are younger and fitter, do you think that's like damaging for someone like that or how does he deal with it?
Yeah, well, I think so. Like, as I said, sometimes I show him videos of people that are pretty strong or, doing impressive tricks like, muscle ups and stuff like that, for example. And he's like, oh, wow, I wish I could do that. And he's saying, oh, I found this guy, is massive. I want to be like him. And yeah, it is really a big thing. Like he often tells me there's been the times where he's been to gym and he's actually told me stories where people have followed him around the gym doing the same exercises as him, but doing more just to purposely make him feel bad. And obviously if you're having the issue of body dysmorphia, it's not going to help you really. So
topics of like with social media and how people can be so harsh on themselves nowadays. Should that be something that universities or workplaces or soccer clubs, stuff like that, are focusing more on?
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. Like, yeah, that brings back to a point. So, for example, the guy that I told you about earlier, he, really wants to basically, yeah, he has body dysmorphia and he really trying to push himself. And, you know, maybe there are things I could do better. And yeah, that's true. Like, definitely the unis could definitely look into that more because it is a problem in the end because it can impact people's mental health. As I said, this guy, he wasn't coming out to lots of trainings and other stuff. Just, you know, it could be because of that, might be not. But it definitely does play a role in how he feels towards training in the gym. And yeah, I reckon if they could add, you know, courses or add something just to give, you know, us upcoming generation more insight into how to deal with that, that'll be good. Yeah. So
Well, like that study I spoke to you about earlier, 90% of people under 21, the Butterfly Foundation said have body dysmorphia or body concerns,
Yeah.
which is crazy
Yeah.
statistic.
See, that is crazy to me. When you think about, go back to like the 60s, 70s, 80s, man, and just the average male.
Yeah.
Do you think they gave two
Yeah.
shits about what they looked in the
Exactly.
slightest? You know what I mean? Like, they all have beer guts coming home from work, cracking open a can, and like, I'm not saying that that's the right way to be either, but, you know, it's crazy how much that has changed in literally probably just 1 or 2 generations.
Yeah.
I would say that not is partially to blame with social media, man. I'd say that's all to blame.
Exactly.
All to blame.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, so
just that ease of information and comparing
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
is next level.
you know, you never seen it if you didn't look for it back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, I think like the fitness industry in itself feeds off that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like because it sells the protein powders, it
100%,
sells
yeah.
it sells the pre-workouts, it sells all of this. Like the fitness industry in itself is like a multi probably $billion industry. You know, and it sells.
It's definitely increased, yeah. Like gyms are at the highest like ever attendance. Yeah, there was a recent study by Body Image, and that said 200 videos from TikTok fitness hashtags like fitness, gym talk, fit talk, all that sort of stuff. 60% of those videos were false information and stuff that was like super popular, and all of it was just not credible at all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, you've got what's backing any of these people? What degrees do they have? You know, you're 16, 17, 18-year-old, don't know what you're talking about. You've got these people that, once again, look shredded or like, you know, or this, that, and the other, or look big, trying to preach this and preach that. They're going to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but these people aren't doctors. These people aren't personal trainers. These people aren't dietitians. These people, you know, anybody can grab a phone and a camera and just go, you know what? I'm going to start making content.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, fitness is a content that sells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you just got to go by like correct viable sources. You know what I mean? Like, and the easiest way to sort of do that is to stick away from social media and just start doing some like old school research, man. You know what I mean? Don't ever pick like one specific article or one specific thing to follow. Read over everything and then just give it a go yourself. And if apart from that, if you're then unsure, see an actual fitness professional. But those statistics just blow my mind, man.
I think a lot of people think that it is, but I feel more and more that we are seeing it come through in all genders, not just females. Typically, I feel it is around kind of the 12 to 25-year-olds, I think, is the main age bracket that we see it, but it is across both genders.
Females are more likely to go to gym and meet Australian guidelines compared to males. That was pretty interesting. That was very new. Males mainly go to gym to actually improve their body image. So I found that pretty interesting. That was like number one reason why they go to gym, to improve their body image.
One of the biggest concerns for parents is that their children will go down a dangerous path, whether it be violence, mental health problems, physical health problems, school troubles, or any other issues. The gym is a great place for children to develop positive habits, and generally, parents would be more than happy for their child to be working in an environment that's positive for their mental and physical health, often involved with their sports teammates or their friends or even family members. What parents don't necessarily see is the dark side of the gym and the negative habits it can build. As discussed earlier, body dysmorphia, addictions, unattainable standards, and social media pressure are bigger than ever in our generation. Parents need to understand that the gym isn't always a healthy place for their children, Aware of early warning signs can help prevent your child from falling into the trap of body dysmorphia, unhealthy habits, things of that nature. Furthermore, according to the Butterfly Foundation, people aged between 15 and 19 are 2.7 times more likely to experience an eating disorder. This is directly linked with social media and social pressures. Furthermore, an article from the ABC says that the best way for parents to look after their children is to be aware of early issues, such as self-image issues, body obsession, social media standards, so that if their child is facing that, they know the warning signs and that they can see a professional if they really do need help.
I am Emma. I am 37 years old. I work for a disability support services as a business manager. As a parent, I worry about body dysmorphia in general and how much influence social media has on who my child thinks she is. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. Neither of them have any tech devices. They had iPads. We went down a little bit of a slippery slope. My daughter got caught in some trouble with a group of friends and it was very, very troublesome. And we went, nah, no more tech. Tech is gone. iPads do not exist for you anymore. They are gone. And I feel like it's the best decision we ever made, because I look at some girls her age and I think, you shouldn't know about that. You shouldn't be worrying about that side of things. You shouldn't be questioning your body and who you are. Like, your body's here to keep you alive. It's not here for what other people think of you. And I genuinely think as parents, we have a bigger battle now than any other generation of parents have ever had, because social media just influences everything.
Do you think, as like a up and coming parent, obviously your daughter's still very young, how social media, how you're going to deal with that, like teaching her about that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I've always vowed that I'm going to be a very open parent with my child. You know, obviously not going to introduce her properly to social media until she's older, but sort of allowing her like to see and talk to her about what it does to people, you know what I mean? And just, as you say, exactly before, educate, you know what I mean? Like, I think it is going to be crucial for us to be able to educate our kids, because our parents never had to deal with it. So they can't educate us about it, you know? At least for our kids growing up, we've been through it. So we can say to them, and they can grow up learning from a young age, look, you know, don't believe everything you see on social media, you know? Don't let it get you down, you know.
Brad was a former professional bodybuilder. He has since retired and become a mentor at his local gym. Brad has experienced the highs and lows of bodybuilding, but he is also an advocate for healthy gym use. His story tells us a real side of gym influences, body dysmorphia, social media standards, and toxic gym traits. The documentary has aimed to educate just how toxic gym culture is becoming. Social media and body dysmorphia are an ever-growing problem in society, especially for the younger generations. The dark side of the fitness industry needs to be discussed more, instead of being swept under the rug, profiting off of teenagers falling for marketing tactics. However, it is also important to remember that the gym can be a great thing, mentally and physically, for children, the younger generation, and the older generation. Educating the next generation throughout schools, universities, sporting clubs, gyms, and parents will ensure that the gym remains a positive escape in all of our lives.
Going around the gym, that sort of focus on like mentoring younger people, and that's sort of what gets you going, drives you.
Oh, definitely, man. You know, like, it's good to be able to feel like you're a part of a positive community. And I feel like it will, if everybody does it, man, like the gym community can be great. Like, you listen to like that, I don't know if you've seen on social media, Joey Swole. He's all about positivity in the gym, man. Like, and this, that, and the other, because it's all about bringing people back. We've all been there. We all first started out, you know, and sometimes some of these people just need a bit of friendship, or just a bit of, not even necessarily friendship, just someone to say hello or how you going.
Yeah.
You know, and then with the young ones, if you can give a little bit of advice, that's good too, you know. And if I was to say, like, any advice towards it, I'd say, learn to love yourself, really, and learn to go in and sit there and maybe sit down and have a chat with yourself in your own mind and ask yourself, like, what am I doing this for? Like, and who am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for other people? You know, are you doing it because you think it's going to make other people, you know, love you more, or this, that, and the other, you know, like, because it's all superficial in the end, man. To get yourself to that level, you have to have something wrong with you mentally to a degree, you know. But like, in saying all of that, you know, the gym and fitness has guided me through life, you know, and like, as we were saying, like, it is such a positive thing, you know. We've talked a lot about the dark side of the bodybuilding and the dark side of the fitness industry and social media and this, that, and the other. But, you know, honestly, man, like, it is a good thing. It is a great thing. I would tell anybody that's at any point in their life to start training.
Thank you very much for joining me.
No, that's all right. No, thank you heaps for having me, man. It's been good to be able to you know, talk a little bit about my life story and about this, you know. If like I said, I guess the only thing I can sort of say is really, like, just anyone that's watching this, you know, just remember, even though we've spoken about a lot of the dark sides of things, truly the gym and health and fitness is positive. You know what I mean? Like, I would not be where I am or who I am today without it.